But Mountain Lake is roughly, our last sounding of it and all was 87 feet deep. Now that's quite a deep lake, and I remember when I was a kid swimming there many, many times. I remember adults saying, "Oh, stay away from that lake, it doesn't have a bottom." Well, if a lake doesn't have a bottom, it isn't going to hold water, is it? But anyway, that's just one example of it. Well, this was a more shallow lake down at Spring Lake, and it did have a dam to back it up, but they were having problems with vegetation and growth, and eutrophication is the big word describing oxygen problems and like that with water. And the owner decided that he would like to enlarge the whole lake and put another dam in and restock it. So he's a great old guy, and I'm talking about Walter Newton. And those of you that are from a farm certainly are familiar with Newton Formula One feeds, which is very popular. And he and Jane, his wife, are wonderful, down-to-earth people. Financially, they've done well with that, with the Newton feeds, and the sons are still running it, and Walter's passed away since we did our excavation. Jane is still there and all. But anyway, he operated a drag line, and it looked like the old-fashioned steam shovel or something, but it was a drag line. That was one of his toys, as well as a tractor and a cat and some things like this. But when they were tearing out the old dam, and the debris was down there piled up, one of the workmen found what he thought was a piece of wood. But then he examined it closer, and it didn't look like wood. And he said, "Oh, it's a piece of horse bone, dead horse bone." And he took it up to the owner. And Walter didn't know either. And this is a kind of an ironic thing, because at that time I was teaching earth science in Athens high school. And it was one of our big things was paleontology, was studying fossils. And I could have shown them several hundred students that could have looked at this and told them it was the tooth of a woolly mammoth. But nobody seemed to know down there. I hadn't heard about it yet. And consequently, they went to Harrisburg. He took some photos and went to American Museum of Natural History too, and then they sent photos. And the word come back, "Well, you've uncovered bones or teeth of a Columbian or a Jefferson mammoth." Well, one thing led to another, and it's right, it was a molar, and I'll show you a slide showing two of the molars right in the jawbone, just as perfect as they could be. And they went to Harrisburg then, and a couple of professionals came and looked the site over and decided, yes, it looks like there's evidence that they, looking around, found a piece of a tusk. So when you find that ivory, you say, hey, this is getting good.